But point is that you've seen people come in and try to direct the show and kind of walk into our world. What is that like, especially when it's a crew member that you're like, dude, I got to see you every day, so if you suck at this, it's going to be really awkward. What does it feel like, and what did it feel like with Darren? And if it sucked, don't tell him.
Please tell me.
It sucked.
I thought it was one of our best episodes. I think the crew and the cast, we all love him so much, so there was a lot of support and everyone wanted to put their best foot forward for it. The script was amazing, and Darren brought a lot of nuances and greatness to the show. You guys liked the episode, right?
Yeah. I'd have to agree, and if you think about it, it makes complete sense. I mean, this is our director of photography, and if anybody knows the tone of the show, and if anybody knows us as actors, our what we're great at and also our faults, it's going to be somebody who's with us every day, and so they know how to work with us and make us, you know, bring out the best in us. And like Kat said, bringing our best foot forward. It's basically, it's our family, so it's not like we're going to bring our A game, because we always do bring our A game, but when it's part of the family and somebody who's with us, like we're going to, you know, we're going to, it's not try harder, but, you know, we want it to be great for them. And I think it's a different level of respect that we give when we have somebody who's directing that's coming in. And the next director we have is this guy, Paul Wesley, and, you know, he's part of the community as well.
I never heard of him.
But, you know, he's kind of, I don't know, that's iffy. I don't know if we're going to give him the same.
Wait, is anybody, please tell me, are any of you going to play a prank on Paul Wesley?
Oh, I'm going to F with him so bad. I'm going to, I can't wait. I can't wait for his first note. I'll be like, what'd you say?
I'm sorry, what? No.
Sorry, wait, what? Okay. Yeah.
Get out of my eye line.
Get out of my eye line, bro.
I'm gonna fix my hair.
Bring hair and makeup, please. I need a mirror.
I think you guys should all just show up to work one day as Stefan. It's like hair that has like a little Henley hoodie, you know.
Lord knows there's enough wigs and hair and makeup. So.
Yeah.
He may actually love that.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. So show up as Damon instead, and then see. So, all right, well, this is good. All right, so Darren, one more question about you, because my favorite scene of the episode was what I call the out of sight influenced scene, which you'll tell me whether it was actually influenced by Out of Sight or not, but it's the drinking game with Matt, Nadia, and Tyler as they're sort of, you know, bonding over their horrible, hideous mothers. And just give me a quickie. Is Out of Sight anything in your brain there, or is that all just you?
I'm a huge fan of Out of Sight, and that is something I always look at when I like the way they jump time and all those things. Working with these guys, and the one thing I really liked about that scene was the opportunity to see Olga really relaxed and really sort of having fun, which we don't always get to see. But these guys were really fun, and we had a good time shooting that scene, because I was constantly telling one of the guys to try to break up the other guy that was on camera. So if Michael was on camera, I would tell Zach, like, whisper in his ear, like...
It's the most inappropriate I've ever been on set. While on my mark with the cameras rolling.
I mean, your line's what? Your line was what to me about your mom?
He made out with my mom.
So you can imagine when he says that, my reaction, the camera's on me. Darren's pretty much telling Zach, hey, don't say that line, say something else to jack him up.
Free reign.
So you can only imagine that kind of context, what he was telling.
I'm a good, clean Ohio boy, but I've got a dirty mind.
Now, speaking of good, clean Ohio boys, you know, what Michael here, he lives in London. He's been in London for many, many years, but he actually like spent a good part of his youth in Ohio, and Zach has a connection.
Zach and I have mutual friends.
They have like
That's all I have to say.
In Ohio, finish that. In Ohio. In Ohio.
Yeah,
Mutual
right.
friends.
Down at the Claremont Lounge.
You'll be
We've
good.
got mutual friends. His cousin, is it?
My cousin Christian.
His cousin and a few of my old friends used to like go around playing music together. I used to play in a hardcore punk band.
Talk about your hair.
And my hair used to be down to here, actually.
He had dreadlocks.
I had a goatee, I had dreadlocks, yeah. I was a bit of a crazy cat for a bit. And that's all before I decided to embrace this insane profession. But yeah, we've got some mutual friends in Ohio.
Actually, Michael, we have those pictures of you with the long hair. Cut to,
There we go, cut to, here we go. Jim, Jim.
Put him up on the screen, Pat.
you, you know, coming into a show that's, you know, been running now for 5 years, and you dipped in, and, you know, not a lot of people know this, and we won't say what show, but somewhere over the Christmas break, another show tried to come in and steal away our Enzo from us. And it was very scandalous and very dramatic. And you had a choice to make. You had a choice to make about, do I, you know, I just started this character. Can I move on? You know, do I want to move on, or do I want to stay? And thankfully for all of us, you decided to stick around. And I'm wondering why? Like, what made your experience or playing Enzo so special that you were like, I'm in, man, I'm in?
Well, a lot of it was because of the character that you guys have given me. You know, I mean, Enzo, he's a really interesting guy. And I wanted to explore more. And I also just would have been really upset about not coming back, because I told everyone I was coming back, and if I were to just not turn up and then turn up on another show and be like, that guy's a dick, man. So, you know, that wasn't the factor in it. But it was mostly because, you know, I'm drawn to playing interesting characters, and the fact that Enzo is so interesting was a really heavy reason for me wanting to stay. But also, all these guys are lovely. I mean, I've had a fantastic time working here, and I, you know, didn't want to not come back. So that's about it.
We're lovely. We're lovely.
I didn't know about
family.
I thought we were friends, dude.
Hey, man, I wasn't sure it was public and not, man. I had to kind of watch my back.
Thanks, bro.
Cat, the beautiful cat. So Bonnie is one of those characters that gets a lot of S-H-I-T-E. I spelled that out wrong on purpose. Mostly because she strayed very differently from where the book fans know Bonnie. Bonnie and Damon, and you know that there was a Bonnie and a Meredith, and now there's just a Bonnie, and you know and all the positive sides of playing the character of Bonnie. When the sort of the fandom of the book community comes at you and says, yeah, that's not supposed to be you. What is that? Like, how do you deal with that? And what's your sort of way of defending your Bonnie and our Bonnie?
Such a great question, Julie, because I feel like online and throughout the world, you know, Julie and I constantly feel like we have to protect. You know, this was a character that in the books was this redhead, you know, Caucasian character, and Julie took a chance on me and saw Bonnie in me. And, you know, we've been working together for 5 years now, so what makes me find solace in the character is working with you and doing the best job I can do for the character and making it about the art, and it being something between us as artists. And that, I think, speaks volumes more than whatever anyone else says in the world. I think if we make you feel something, if we've made you connect to a character, then I think we're a good match, and I'm good, I'm happy.
Well, I just wanted you to know that I had a date, not in that way, but a nice bonding date with Ian before Christmas, and he and I went and had a beautiful dinner and a bottle or two of wine, and we were talking about you and your growth as an actress from the minute, the first audition when Kat came in, she was pretending to be driving in the driving seat, and she like had her hands locked like this, and her eyes were like, and she's just like doing her Heath Ledger line, and you know she was coming in kind of cold, and she's been studying and training, and Ian said, you know, if there's one person that I really want to dig into some deep stuff with and try to, you know, really explore as an actor some great stuff, it's Kat. And so I was like, all right, amen.
That's very sweet.
So my boy is over there. Now, most people know this.
We apparently just missed something over there.
Jealousy.
Just reading subtext.
I just said, of course, David really wants to dig in.
That's exactly what he said. Zach's got a lot of zings, and then I'm like,
He doesn't. I'm mine for gold all day with Bonnie.
Oh my God! All right, so you two.
And a kid.
Sorry, Michael and Zach. I do actually think of you as two separate people, but you guys know how much I love you. And the beautiful thing that's come out of this show, on a personal level, is actually your friendship, the two of you. And I'll get to the professional in a minute, but you guys, like, you know, you kind of hit it off right away, and you're buds. And shooting out of town, I guess this could be a nice segue into Atlanta as a city that we shoot in. how did your friendship sort of like find itself, and how do you think being out of LA really allowed you to, you know, butt it up?
Well, initially, we didn't get along. I didn't like Zach. And that was right on the plane from LA going to Vancouver.
Oh, because of the turkey. It was because of the turkey.
Well, no, I mean, I'll let Zach finish the story off, but long story short, you know, we get on a flight, you know, get on the plane, it's like Kevin Williamson and Julie Plec, and then I'm sitting there, and I'm reading the book of Vampire Diaries, which you all know we didn't really stick to, but I'm there kind of like, yes, you know, doing my homework, I'm ready to go. And then in comes Zach sitting next to me, but what is
being honest while he's over here being a fake brown.
Whoa, take it easy. Hey, take it easy. Well, hey, look, I was on chapter 6, I didn't go farther than that, don't worry. But he comes in, and what is he lugging? A big-ass snowboard, because we're going to Vancouver. He's just like this, and I'm wondering, like...
best snowboarding.
Yeah, and I'm like wondering, bro, hey, we're here to work. We got to book this job. This pilot isn't picked up yet, and you're trying to snowboard.
Number 8, man, I'm not working all the time.
You're trying to snowboard? So initially, it was just kind of like, oh, this guy's going to cost me this job, and my bank account's going to get lower. God, I got to worry about this kid. But we're from there, and quickly, as soon as we landed, we get to the hotel, and I'll let you finish this
What
up.
really bonded was that we both, even though we didn't like each other, we thought we were cool, we both got screwed over. At the time the Vampire Diaries decided to film in Vancouver, it was this hotbed of filming. Twilight was there, Percy Jackson. So this hotel, the Sutton Place, otherwise known as the Slutton Place, was booked up.
Everyone stays
So
there.
I'd already been at the Slutton Place and filmed the pilot before, and I'd gotten that dirty, gross, like apartment side of the hotel, but it's big and it's spacious. Trevino and I were stuck on the hotel side in a small room with a mini fridge.
Weird.
For 3 or 4 weeks.
What about everybody else in the cast? Where were they?
They were all on the apartment
side. Oh, they're on
side.
the apartment side. Yeah. That's cool. Okay.
And Trevino, you got screwed too, because I remember when we were doing the auditions, and it was the big day where you like take all these guys in, you know, to see who's going to get the part, and you're taking them into the studio and the network. And before that, you're supposed to individually work with every single actor and give them a little bit of time and run their audition with them and give them some notes and just kind of pump them up. And we ran out of time, and Trevino didn't get to do that. I walk out in the hallway and I was like, I am so sorry. And he just looks at me like, I'm like, I think you're going to do great. How did that feel?
Great, that's wonderful. Okay, I guess I'll just do more push-ups before I go in.
Good for me.
Speaking of the Sutton, Zach, that's where you and I met a long time ago. Zach was my across-the-hall mate when I was there doing Kyle XY and Zach was shooting. But Split Decision, right?
Decision. I was 19. I was working on Asphalt Turns at the time and had a pilot out. Went to Vancouver. Her best friend was the writer of the pilot I was in, but Julie's hotel room was across the hall from me. So our proper introduction happened with me standing multiple bottles of booze in my hand, having a party.
No, seriously, the drinking age, not that it usually matters, but to Zach, but
in
19
is legal in Canada.
In Canada, so I would come down, long day of work, and there would be like this sound coming from Zach's room, and then he'd open the door and see me, he'd be like, hey, what's up, you know, like 17 girls in the room, just hanging out, and we had some good times. The whole cast partied in his room.
You know what though, honestly, I've been trying to hook up with Julie ever since. And she's never said yes.
That's true, that's true. I do just flatline now. All right, so let's talk about, you guys, all right, professionally, Matt Donovan is the only human character left on the show, which I know Zach comes along with a burden. And not necessarily a lot of screen time, but so moving forward, if you live to see season 6, which is always my standard answer.
If you're good.
If you're good, what would you like to see happen? Because I kind of feel like Matt can't ever be supernatural now, and maybe that'll change. But I feel.
Oh, you feel that way, really? You feel that way?
I do.
Or just put your foot down and say, no, you can't. Is that a feeling or a decision?
Yeah, I feel like he's human. He's that one last remaining connection to humanity in this town.
I totally agree with you, and that's why I really think season 6 we should see a true human interaction and embrace happen between Matt Donovan and Sheriff Forbes. That's all I really want. Really. That's what America wants.
That's what America wants. You're absolutely right. That's what America wants.
And Trevino, the interesting thing about Tyler is that in the beginning he was just kind of that mushy little douche.
Total douche.
And then and then the werewolf storyline sort of hit, and the hybrid storyline sort of hit in season 2 and 3. And now Tyler is in the perfect prime place. What I'm doing is I'm digging for story ideas. Okay, so Tyler's in that perfect prime place. He's just lost everything. He's lost his girl. He's lost his family. He's back in Mystic Falls. He's not in college. He doesn't know what's up. Like, if you were giving Tyler advice as a friend and saying, hey, here's how you're going to live your life and here's what you're going to do, what would you tell him?
I'd say, bro, you've hit rock bottom. The love of your life was screwed by, your main arch nemesis, who is, you can't kill him, and he keeps messing with you, and he's like he's the worst enemy in your life, and as much as you've tried, you still can't beat him. So you know what? Fuck it. Just be a villain, be that guy, own it, but just protect your boy Matt.
One dark, drunken night at the Lockwood Mansion. Just don't worry if we don't tell anyone it didn't happen. I mean, I don't know. Just throwing out ideas there.
It's gonna be okay. No, I would honestly, I would want to see Tyler turn into a villain at this point. But it's such an oxymoron. But like a villain in a positive way, a villain to just with reckless abandon go after people who are harming the people he cares about. Having said that, I'm not saying Tyler really cares about Damon, but I'm saying if it was somebody else that, hey, I got you.
One degree of Damon,
yeah,
one degree
exactly.
separate.
It's like he could still be an enemy of Damon, but still protect Bonnie. Not really Enzo, I don't know. We haven't really met. But Matt Donovan as well. That's what I would say.
I like it.
Can you keep it that there? Can you hold that?
Yeah, no. I just do it. Steel trap.
Sounds like a Boondock Saints.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to go for.
Kat, I don't think anybody in this room probably knows how hard it is that you work. You're juggling multiple careers. You're in the midst of a music career. You're an actress. I don't even know. You probably have like 97 charities. But can you give just a quick, fake week of your life in the way that you've been living it for the last, year with planes here and the things there? Just give a little taste of that.
It's weird. Well, when I'm home, I'm in LA, and I don't know. I've been running to New York a lot. I don't know. I go home, I coach for the episodes. I go in person with Ivana, and I don't know. I take meetings. It's just every week is kind of different, But my life has been around Vampire Diaries for 5 years, so whatever I can do within that is what I do. Charity work has been something that's been really important to me. Ian's helped me out with that a lot, and it's been a huge focus of mine for this year. So yeah, I guess, I don't know, it's so boring. I don't want to talk about my
Then you're flying
day.
Wait.
I went here, and then I did this, and I'm so fabulous.
In New York, so
I'm Fashion Week, and I'm so fabulous. Like, no one wants to hear that.
Jeremy Scott, stylist.
You say how boring it is, and then your
really
passport has like 60 countries.
Yeah, that's sick.
No,
It's
Kat's
boring
like,
to hear, I
it's
think.
like, I can come to dinner. I'm in Kansas. I'm like, what the hell are you doing in Kansas? And she's like, well, I had a radio show in Kansas, but then I'm going to Omaha for a little appearance, and then I'm going to be on the plane to Florida for a 5-minute performance at the thing, and then I'm the grand marshal of the Pride Parade. And I've never seen, I thought I was busy. This girl.
No, Julie Plec is busy. Julie Plec is juggling. Oh my gosh, the original. This show you did Tomorrow People.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
I mean, I don't even compare to what you have to do. I mean, it's just I just have to show up and look like this. But you were like.
Do you sleep, Julie?
Yeah, do you sleep, Julie Plec?
You
Julie
do.
Plec is a night
That's
owl.
debatable. That's debatable.
No, this is a section where you guys get to just hammer me. Okay. So, yes,
I like to call it the Plecky-verse.
There it is. He calls it the Plecky-verse.
The Plecky-verse.
Here's how we're going to do this in the Plecky-verse. Yeah, I sleep. I don't have, I sleep and I sit with my friends, and every other minute I work.
What are your hobbies?
I don't have any. Reading, and laying on a beach or by the pool in Cabo and having 6 margaritas and reading my Kindle on those 3 days a year I get to actually relax.
And you make sure you take a vacation.
And I do, and I told, okay, this is a very valuable lesson for everybody. Barbie Kligman, who was a writer on season 1 of the show, said to me, which I then relayed to Ms. Kat Graham when she was at the peak of her busiest, you have to fill the well. you can't just go, 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 go. Because if you're writing or you're being creative or whatever it is, if you're always only giving out and you're never taking anything back in, then at a certain point, you're gonna run out of things to give out. And so I really heard that, because in season 1 and 2, we were in the office, sleeping on the couch, going to sleep at 5 in the morning, getting up at 8 in the morning. Kevin's in one room, I'm in the other. We're tweeting each other, we're so miserable. And it was really, 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 really hard work, and hard work for everybody. And I didn't see any friends, I didn't go anywhere, I didn't take any time, because you can't shake the show from your head. And filling the well is going out and living your life. And the best part about being on a show for 5 years, from my point of view, and you guys, can say differently, is that now that everybody knows what they're doing and does it so well. I mean, the show is running better this year than creatively, and the way it looks, and the way you guys are all doing your jobs, than ever before. That I actually can have a weekend and sit and read a book every now and then, and that's made all the difference in my brain. And I don't know what you guys do with your free time.
That's Kat.
So, I don't know if you guys want to ask any questions, which you're certainly welcome to do. We can kind of open up the floor, and then if you run out of questions, then I'll just keep yammering.
Hi. I had a comment for you.
It's a comment. Don't read the comments. Okay.
No, it's a good one. I wanted to say thank you for the Caroline and Klaus moment. It's a long time.
That was his girlfriend on the show. She cheated on him. She cheated on him.
We love you, Mom. Actually, I really wanted to see
Security.
I really want to see them get together. I thought that was like a really cute couple. No offense, Tyler, you're awesome.
Still love you.
But I thought that was really awesome that you finally did that, and that episode was amazing. I wanted to ask if it was on purpose or for the last, not the episode this week, the episode before, when Bonnie saw Catherine die, but then she came back and she didn't feel it. I think that's how she realized when someone dies, they go through her. Why no one noticed that? I thought that would have been the way that everybody would realize that she did not die and she's still around.
I think that the way we talked about that, because we needed Bonnie to see Catherine so that we knew she was dead, but we also couldn't let Catherine go through Bonnie. And so the line, will she go through you to get to the other side, was kind of, the response was, oh gosh, I think so, I'm not sure, she's human now. But then again, she also potentially is, supernatural in other ways. So we left a kind of deliberate ambiguity in hopes that you could, that it would slip Bonnie's mind, and she would chalk it up to, oh, she's human. And when Elena comes out and is perfectly acting as Elena, nobody had any reason to be suspicious, and nobody had any reason to worry. So we were kind of hoping that the ambiguity of potentially Catherine being human would let it fly enough from Bonnie's head that it wouldn't even occur to her, because of course Elena's right in front of her being completely normal.
Yeah, we even, I was even asked, I think by you in the scene, if I was going to feel the death, and I said, well, I don't know, she's human, or doppelganger apparently. I did it better though.
But I will say about the 100th episode, that what we wanted to do was bring everybody that had ever been a series regular back to the show, even if it was just for an instant. And it was this really great way of trying to weave everybody in so that they could come and we could see them and we could celebrate with them. And I sent out an email to every single one of them saying, we're not really paying you that much, and you might work for literally 5 minutes and say one thing, but are you game? And every single person said yes, and that was kind of special.
Hello.
Hi.
My question is for Enzo.
Mr. Michael Malarkey.
As you see, since Vampire Diaries started, all the villains have some good in them, and they have found love somehow. Enzo's kind of like the serial killer. With Damon. Do you think there's any good in Enzo or any love in him?
Good romance.
It's just misunderstood. Well, I mean, look at what's happened to him. You know what I mean? He's been locked away for 70 years and experimented on and all that jazz. And, you know, of course he's going to come out as a fully loaded gun. But I think deep down he has a real strong sense of loyalty, hence his connection with Damon. And he has a moral code that he sticks by. And I think that will probably lead him into different territory as the season progresses. You'll see more sides of him. But initially, when he comes out, as you see him now, he's pissed off. You know, it's just blatant, you know, psychology, I guess. But yeah, I think there is a real, deep down, there is a real strong loyalty, moral code. Maybe you'll see him with a chick, who knows? See how we go. You're welcome.
Just pick people and tell me yell.
Yeah, let's not screw
It's easier.
Let's do it.
Hi. It's a question for everybody. Working on a show that's like kind of supernatural, not like set in like real life, do you guys like that better, or do you sometimes feel like you're missing out because it's not like happening? Like, you know, like the supernatural element. Is it fun to like do that?
I don't really get up to this
I
kind of
love
stuff.
it. I love it. The transformations into a werewolf is like therapeutic for me. I don't have to see a therapist for that. I can do that for free and actually get paid for it. You know, getting wild and just screaming at the top of my lungs. And
You're just making Zach really, really sad right now.
I was just gonna say, like, thank God for that effing ringer. I'd have been gone a long time ago. Yeah, I love the supernatural world.
I love the supernatural stuff.
Question right over here to your right.
Hello, I wanted to ask, how close is your personality to your character? And is there something that you find hard to act out? This is what everyone...
you should ask Julie this, actually.
All right, no.
Yeah, see, yeah.
All right, so hilariously, you know what? All right, so Kat for sure. I mean, Bonnie is beautiful and strong and loyal and is really like determined to be there for people. And Kat is without a doubt that personality. She will be there for her friends. She is the first one to show up. She is the one that makes sure that you get that ride home at the end of the night.
I've given Julie a couple rides.
She's always like, I'm driving you home. And I was like, dude, I am a grown-up. I can get myself home. She's like, I'm driving you home. Okay. You know, Zach, the beauty of Zach as Matt Donovan is that he does have that sweet, earnest, like, good boy side. What Matt Donovan hasn't gotten to explore yet, which is what Zach Rohrig also has, is the sort of that Ohio cowboy thing that, you know, the troublemaker, the shit stirrer, excuse my language, and the wild child. So, you know, with luck, Matt will be able to see, you know, we'll be able to explore all facets of Zach's personality.
Did have a threesome this year.
He did have a threesome. Yes, that's true.
We did. We started becoming a little bit more alike. You know?
And Trevino, you know.
It's funny because it's true. Years ago.
You know, Trevino is Tyler. Like, you know, Tyler was such a hothead, and Michael, you know, Michael, like he's
really
nice, man. Michael will kick your ass if you mess with him. But more importantly, he will hurt whoever messes with you. And that's the beautiful thing about what he said about Tyler earlier, wanting to protect people that he cares about. Trevino, like, he'd be the guy I called if I got arrested. Put it that way. For sure. For sure. Because he would get up, he would be there, he would show up, and he would make it work. He would talk it my way out of trouble.
That's for damn sure.
And then, you know, Michael, we just met, so you might have to answer that question for yourself.
The only similarities are that I'm actually a vampire. Everything else is fabricated and part of my acting work. I hope that answers the question.
All right, unfortunately, we just have time for just one more question, and we're going to take it back here in the back.
This is for Michael, and I'm a fashion design student, and I just wanted to say that I really like your pants. And
Thank you.
You're beautiful, and if you're ever in Atlanta, hit me up.
He actually jumped out of a plane to come to the place.
That's sweet, I love it. That's very nice of you to say. Thank you so much.
Show us the pants, Michael.
Show us the pants.
Yeah, you're fast.
MC Hammer Vintage.
These are my drop crotch Rick Owens pants. Most people don't get them because then it looks like I'm wearing a diaper.
No, it hides the diaper.
But you know, if you're in New York or Kat gets it.
I get it. I wear those. I dance in those.
And if you're
a little food to go.
A little Rick Owens never hurt anybody. God bless you.
You guys, thank you. You know, the front row got completely neglected, and I noticed
They actually did right here.
You had a question. If it's
Give her one.
All right, you still feel like valid.
The last are a couple. They left. They were either or two of them.
Two questions.
Two questions here and there.
I just had a question. What is your mindset whenever you're going into these characters? Because they've changed so much throughout the start of the series. They've gone through so many transformations, and how do you adapt to this whenever you're given this new script and your character's completely changed? And for the writers and the creators, how do you make the decision to take these characters in that direction?
We just put all the ideas in a bowl and shake them up.
Love you.
We shake them up, we pull something out of the hat, and we're like, oh, that's what they're going through this
I
weekend.
have a question for you with that, to answer your question. With our performances, do we do anything in an episode or do the dailies that you see and then you're like, oh wait, they could do that. We could go there with that, with something that we do?
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of television, is the character becomes the actor, becomes the character. You know, the voice of the character is the voice of the actor. You and I have talked about this a lot, and late at night, just that I hear voices, and when I'm talking to these guys and we're just catching up and talking about life, I'll hear what they have to say, I'll hear the rhythm they speak in, and then that evolves naturally into the characters that I personally write. And there have been situations where someone has said something in their real life that I thought, oh, that's so powerful and so profound, and I want their character to go through that as well. And so our relationship informs a lot about the choices that we make in the show, which is kind of a nice symbiotic creative relationship.
Oh, my turn. Hi. My question was that since Klaus's favorite spell is the body jumping spell, does he have a history with the Travelers, or is it just the Travelers are just unaware that he can just do that?
Well, he learned that from his mama, who is evil. So, and the Travelers actually, believe it or not, predate Mama. So, so we'll see. Maybe she got her spell from them, but they're even older than the originals, those Fantasy Travelers. So, hey, just real quick, guys, before we end, because this is the Atlanta TV Festival, and this is all about shooting in Atlanta, and I just wanted to say that we all came here 5 years ago, not knowing anything about the city and not knowing what we were stepping into. And what's been so beautiful over the course of the 5 years is not just the fact that we shoot here, but that we hired people 5 years ago who had never held a camera, and 5 years later they're off, shooting and doing things on other shows and huge movies. And the community, the artistic and the creative and the technical community here, Darren, you can speak to that for just a second about being able to raise people up and teach them, and how much the community, even just in the 2 years you've been with us, has grown technically.
Yeah, I mean, walking into Atlanta, coming from Los Angeles, you're always a bit nervous about the infrastructure, about the crew that you find, and all the locals and all of that. But we've been really lucky on this show, and I think, speaking to friends that work on other shows in Atlanta, we've been really lucky. Just in terms of just the short time that people have been coming here because of the tax credits recently. The crew we have, for example, we have a guy who pushes the dolly, and that's his job, and then we started moving him up to a camera operator, and at this point on the show, he's now one of the camera operators, which is a pretty prestigious job. And 2 years ago, he didn't even know what a camera was, or he didn't know how to use a camera, and now he's one of our main collaborators on the show. So we have a lot of those examples where we bring people up, they start at the bottom, and we bring them up very quickly, and everyone is so enthusiastic and has such a great base of training. And I think even the SCAD, for example, and all of these schools that are bringing all these people up, I think it's just been really nice, and everyone's fostering this sort of film community here in town. And we've definitely taken advantage of that.
Yeah, and I guess the moral of the story is there's lots of opportunity. If you have a thirst and a hunger to work in film, TV, production, if you're an actor, if you're a storyteller, whatever, just like get in on the ground floor, like get involved with some of these productions and build your way up, find your passion, and let's keep making Atlanta the place where people actually want to come and shoot and stay. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much.